I'm a speech language pathologist, and I have the exact checklist of items to do and questions to ask parents during a speech and language evaluation. So let's go through all of it, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to expect. So I'm sure you're wondering, what are they going to ask me? What are they going to expect my child to do? And the first thing I want you to know is that the speech therapist is going to want your child to be comfortable, and they're going to want you to be comfortable. They're going to understand that what your child does during that evaluation is not the complete scope of what your child is able to do. So if you go to the evaluation and your child doesn't do something that they do every single day at home, don't worry. Your speech therapist is not going to think that your child is, way below where they actually are. One of the most important aspects, actually, of the speech and language evaluation is what you tell them about what your child is able to do, because you're the parent and you know best. So because of that, they may ask you many questions about your child's skills and abilities, really just what they're doing to communicate with you. And this is not to make you feel pressured or on the spot. It's really just to best understand your child so that they can best understand their needs and how you can help them. They know, or they should know, that you know your child best. So what sort of questions will they ask you? Well, they're going to ask you questions about your child's receptive language skills. And what this means is what your child understands. If your child seems to understand the word no when you tell them no. And of course, all children are sometimes defiant, but do they understand when you say no? Do they look and understand that that's something that they should not be doing even if they continue to do it? They might ask you questions about if it seems like your child is able to follow simple directions and other questions like that. They will also ask you questions about your child's expressive language skills or how your child communicates with you. This is like the use of gestures, sounds, words, or just really anything that your child does to tell you what they want and what they need. The average time for an evaluation like this is about 1 hour, and it will most likely be broken up into 2 parts. The first part being the parent interview, where they ask you these questions, and then the second part being where the therapist will actually engage with your child, or it may just be a play observation. So I'm going to give you some ways to prepare for your evaluations to set you and your child up for success. Because you know those questions are coming about what your child is doing to communicate, go ahead and make a list of ways that your child tries to get your attention, how they communicate with you, if they make any sounds, what they are, and what they use them for. For example, do they use certain sounds to try to say certain words? Make a list of the words that you've heard them say. You could also make a list of any consistent gestures that they use in order to communicate with you. And even better than that, if you have time and if you remember ahead of time, go ahead and make some videos. Actually record your child when they're doing this, because this will help give the speech therapist doing the evaluation the most full picture. Of course, you know that one of the best things you can do is to prepare your child. So tell them, we get to go and make a new friend. Our new friend likes to play with lots of toys just like you. And you could even, if their pictures on the internet or you just have a picture of them, you could show them their picture so they're really familiar with this person and it doesn't all seem so new and unfamiliar and out of routine for your child. Also, just so you know, before the appointment, you may receive a case history form. This could be days before, or it could be like when you get into an office. I guess every office does it differently. You might receive it when you get into the office before the appointment to fill out. But in this case history form, there will be questions to help the therapist understand more of the background of your child's history, especially like their medical history, if they have a history of ear infections, if there's a family history of speech or language delays or disorders. On this case history form, there might be questions about your child's milestones, and they happen so fast and there's so many of them. So I understand if that's a bit difficult to remember on the spot. So it might be good to take some time and think about that. When did you first hear your child start to babble? When did they crawl? When did they first make their first signs or gestures like waving? When did they say their first word? Different things like that are good to think about ahead of time. So after the evaluation, what you can expect is that your therapist will probably give you some insights right after the evaluation of what they saw. If they don't discuss this throughout the evaluation as they're seeing it, they will also write up a written report that they will then share with you and hopefully also review it with you. In this report, at the end, you will find a summary of what they observed and their findings, and you'll also see some recommendations. Within those recommendations, you will find out if the speech therapist thinks that your child needs speech therapy, and if so, how often, as well as specifically what the speech therapy should aim to improve. If you have this evaluation coming up and you're just not sure if your child is on track, I actually have a free roadmap of communication milestones from birth to 5 years old so that you can see the big picture and know exactly what to expect of your child's communication development. But it might be good to review ahead of time before this evaluation to give you some good insights about how your child's developing. Go ahead and get that for free down in the description below. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, then please do me a huge favor by liking and subscribing so that I can make more videos like this to help more families just like yours.